There was a historic battle between Lord Krishna and Lord Shiva because of an asura named Banasura. Banasura is the son of King Bali and the great-grandson of Prahlad, a powerful and righteous asura king known for his devotion and generosity. Prahlad is one of the most celebrated devotees of Lord Vishnu, known for his unwavering faith despite his father Hiranyakashipu's opposition. Banasura's kingdom, Shonitpura, was incredibly wealthy and powerful. Banasura was said to possess 1,000 arms, each capable of wielding a different weapon. His strength was legendary, and his valor in battle unmatched. But Banasura was not just a warrior, he was also a devout follower of Lord Shiva. His devotion was so intense that he would often spend days meditating and performing severe penances to please the Lord. Pleased with Banasura's unwavering devotion, Lord Shiva granted him a boon. Banasura asked for unmatched strength and the promise that Shiva would be his protector in times of dire need. Shiva blessed him, making Banasura one of the most powerful beings in the universe. With this divine protection, Banasura's confidence grew, and so did his pride. Banasura had a beautiful daughter named Usha. One night, Usha had a vivid dream of a handsome young prince who would become her husband. The dream was so real that it left Usha yearning to meet this prince. She confided in her friend Chitralekha, an artist with mystical powers. Chitralekha, determined to help her friend, used her abilities to identify the prince from Usha's dream. He was Anirudh, the grandson of Lord Krishna. Using her magical powers, Chitralekha brought Anirudh to Usha's palace in Shonitpura. The two fell in love instantly and spent their days in blissful union. However, their happiness was short-lived. Banasura discovered Anirudh in his daughter's chambers and was furious. He imprisoned Anirudh, binding him with serpent ropes that made escape impossible. When Anirudh did not return from Shonitpura, his family and friends passed the 4 months of the rainy season in extreme distress. When they finally heard from Narada Muni that Anirudh had been captured, a large army of the best Yadav warriors, under Krishna's protection, set off for Banasura's capital and laid siege to it. Banasura fiercely opposed them with his own army of equal size. To help Banasura, Lord Shiva, accompanied by Kartikeya and a horde of mystic sages, took up arms against Balram. Banasura began fighting against Satyaki, and Banasura's son fought against Samba. All the demigods assembled in the sky to witness the battle. With his arrows, Lord Krishna harassed the followers of Lord Shiva, and by putting Lord Shiva into a state of confusion, he was able to destroy Banasura's army. Kartikeya was so strongly beaten by Pradyumna that he fled the battlefield, while the remnants of Banasura's army, harried by the blows of Lord Balram's club, scattered in all directions. Enraged to see his army's destruction, Banasura rushed at Krishna to attack him. But the Lord immediately killed Banasura's chariot driver, broke his chariot and bow, and then sounded his Panchajanya conch shell. Next, Banasura's mother, trying to save her son, appeared naked in front of Lord Krishna, who averted his face to avoid looking at her. Seeing his chance, Banasura fled into his city. Shri Krishna then drove all the ghosts away from the battlefield, beating them with his celebrated bow, Saranga. Lord Shiva then began to release all his selected weapons upon the personality of Godhead. Lord Krishna, without any difficulty, counteracted all these weapons with counter-weapons. He counteracted an air weapon with a mountain weapon. When Lord Shiva released a weapon that brought about a violent hurricane on the battlefield, Lord Krishna presented just the opposing element, a mountain weapon, which checked the hurricane on the spot. Similarly, when Lord Shiva released his weapon of devastating fire, Krishna counteracted it with torrents of rain. In the end came the Shivajvara weapon, a personification of fever with 3 heads and 3 legs, emitting extreme heat 12 times hotter than the sun's core temperature, approached Lord Krishna to fight him. Seeing the Shivajvara, Krishna released his Vishnujvara, an extreme cold weapon. The Shivajvara was overwhelmed by the Vishnujvara, having nowhere else to turn for shelter. The Shivajvara began to address Lord Krishna, glorifying him and asking for mercy. Lord Krishna was pleased with the Shivajvara, and after the Lord had promised him freedom from fear, the Shivajvara bowed down to him and departed. Next, Banasura returned and attacked Lord Krishna again, wielding all kinds of weapons in his 1,000 hands. But Lord Krishna took his Sudarshana disc and began cutting off all the demons' arms. Lord Shiva approached Krishna to pray for Banasura's life, and when the Lord agreed to spare him, he spoke to Shiva. Banasura does not deserve to die, since he was born in the family of Prahlad Maharaja. I have severed all but 4 of Banasura's arms just to destroy his false pride, and I have annihilated his army because they were a burden to the earth. Henceforward he will be free from old age and death, and remaining fearless in all circumstances, he will be one of your principal attendants. Assured he had nothing to fear, Banasura then offered his obeisances to Lord Krishna and had Usha and Anirudh seated on their wedding chariot and brought before the Lord. Krishna then set off for Dwarka with Anirudh and his bride leading the procession. When the newlyweds arrived at the Lord's capital, they were honored by the citizens, the Lord's relatives, and the Brahmanas.